family time or do nothing but recline time.
Without Bob, it's just discount furniture.
Tonight, the sudden exit at the FBI. Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, the frequent target of President Trump on Twitter. The White House has asked if the president pressured the Justice Department to force the number 2 at the FBI out. Also tonight, the deadly flu. Schools in multiple states now closed. The pregnant woman who lost her baby, and the mother who cared for her husband and her children who all had the flu, dying from the flu herself. What her family is saying tonight about the vaccine. Also tonight, did EMS refuse to help a man who'd been shot 16 times because he was just outside city limits. Handcuffed at school, growing outrage after a 7-year-old boy is led away in cuffs by police after being accused of attacking his teacher. Police tonight defending their actions. Your money, filing your taxes beginning today. The simple code, the new number on your W-2 that could protect your refund. And the one mistake made by so many people. And on the eve of the Super Bowl, why Tom Brady suddenly cut an interview short. What was said beforehand?
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us to start another week here. And we begin tonight with the sudden departure of FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, the number 2 man at the FBI, and a frequent target of the president's criticism. McCabe stepped in temporarily when FBI Director James Comey was fired, defending the scope of the FBI's Russia investigation and defending James Comey, saying the rank and file had not lost confidence in him. Tonight, the White House answering questions. Did the president pressure the Justice Department in any way to push McCabe out? ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas leading us off.
Tonight, the number 2 at the FBI stepping down, following months of blistering attacks from President Trump. Today, the president ignoring questions about Andrew McCabe's early departure.
Thank you.
Have you been told McCabe is resigning? Mr. President, have you been told that McCabe is resigning?
Thank you. Thank you.
It was McCabe who stepped in after President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey, thrust into the national spotlight. Days later on Capitol Hill, McCabe defending his former boss after the White House claimed that the rank and file had lost confidence in Comey.
Is it accurate that the rank and file no longer supported Director Comey?
No, sir, that is not accurate. But I can confidently tell you that the vast majority of FBI employees enjoyed a deep and positive connection to Director Comey.
At the time, the White House also insisted that the FBI investigation into Russian meddling and any possible collusion was, quote, one of the smallest things the FBI is doing. McCabe was asked if that's true.
Sir, we consider it to be a highly significant investigation.
While today the president refused to comment on McCabe, in a series of tweets, he's let the world know about his disdain for McCabe. In July, taking aim at McCabe's wife's run for state senate in Virginia, a campaign that was finished when McCabe became deputy director, and a candidacy McCabe disclosed. Why didn't A.G. Sessions replace acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe, a Comey friend who was in charge of Clinton investigation, but got big dollars, $700,000 for his wife's political run from Hillary Clinton? And in December, after McCabe let it be known he was retiring in March, the president tweeting, FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe is racing the clock to retire with full benefits, 90 days to go. It was just last week ABC News confirmed what McCabe told colleagues. He says shortly after being named acting director, the president asked him, "Who did you vote for?" McCabe's answer, "I did not vote."
Did you ask McCabe who he voted for? Did you ask him that?
I don't think so.
No, you didn't.
No, I don't think I did.
You did not.
I don't know what's the big deal with that.
The news of McCabe's departure comes a week after we learned Sessions was putting pressure on current FBI Director Christopher Wray to fire McCabe, something Wray refused to do, and days after reports that President Trump wanted to fire Special Counsel Robert Mueller last June. The White House was pressed today. Is the president applying pressure on his attorney general and on the Justice Department to get rid of certain people?
The only thing that the president has applied pressure to is to make sure we get this resolved so that you guys and everyone else can focus on the things that Americans actually care about.
So let's get to Pierre Thomas live outside the FBI tonight. And Pierre, you have new reporting about why McCabe stepped down today rather than waiting until March when he said he was leaving?
David, sources are telling us tonight McCabe was getting indications that an upcoming Inspector General report dealing with both the Hillary Clinton probe and Russia was likely going to be rough on him. He decided to leave so as not to be a distraction. David?
All right, Pierre Thomas leading us off on this. Pierre, thank you. We do have one more question on this tonight, so let's bring in our senior White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega. She's live over at the White House. And Cecilia, I know you pressed White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders on whether President Trump had anything to do with Andrew McCabe's departure. And here's what she said today.
Can you say definitively then that the president did not play a role in Andrew McCabe stepping down?
Yes, I didn't say the president wasn't part of this decision-making process, and we would refer you to the FBI, where Christopher Wray serves as the director. The president has full confidence in him and has put the decisions at the FBI in his hands.
So, Cecilia, we heard that there, a denial from Sarah Sanders, but this White House is really facing questions about whether the president is trying to influence the Justice Department.
David, you remember President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey. Sources tell us he moved to fire special counsel Robert Mueller, and now Andrew McCabe is out. The White House may be denying that the president played a role in Andrew McCabe's ouster today, but President Trump made it very clear he wanted him gone. David, the big question facing this administration right now in the midst of this Russia investigation, is President Trump pressuring his top law enforcement officials out of the job? And David, does this amount to obstruction?
Cecilia Vega with us at the White House tonight. Cecilia, thank you. And as you know, Cecilia and the whole team will be here because President Trump will deliver his first State of the Union address. It is expected to focus on the economy, new jobs, trade, among other things. And ABC News and our entire powerhouse political team will cover it live, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here tomorrow night. In the meantime, we continue with the news this Monday night into the deadly flu epidemic. The CDC now confirming it is the worst in nearly a decade. 39 states now reporting high flu activity. You can see them all lit up there in red. 37 children dying from the flu. That's nearly double the number from this time last year. But baby boomers are being hit especially hard as well. And tonight, the new cases here. One pregnant woman losing her baby, and a mother who cared for her husband and her children who had the flu, dying of the flu herself. She did not have the flu shot. The rest of her family did. Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim.
Tonight, the flu epidemic pushing hospitals to their limit. At Grady Hospital in Atlanta, a team is setting up the country's first mobile emergency unit to handle what doctors say is a historic demand for care.
I've been working at Grady now for almost 15 years. I've not seen it this bad in those 15 years.
Already this season, 37 children have died from the flu compared to 21 at this time last year. And tonight, more families are sharing their stories to help others. Maria Paniagua's friend says Maria was 7 months pregnant when she got the flu, then pneumonia. She says they put her in a coma to try to save her life, but could not save the baby.
Be careful with that because if you're pregnant, you go in the hospital, you or your baby survive, and maybe neither one survive, both can die.
Carly Slavin was a busy mother who didn't get the flu shot herself, but got sick and died after caring for her husband and 2 kids. Her father is encouraging others to get the vaccine.
We're doing this for her. They'd all had their shots and they got over everything pretty well.
As more than 1 million people descend on Minneapolis this week for the big game, doctors concerned the Super Bowl crowd will bring an uptick of the flu.
Will be people congregating in really large numbers and in really close proximity to each other. That's exactly how influenza is passed on.
Organizers wiping down hands-on exhibits and equipment, parents doing their part too.
And Eva Pilgrim reporting in from Minneapolis tonight where the festivities are already underway. And Eva, I know organizers are trying to get the word out to people who are going to be visiting there this week because of the close proximity they're going to be in right behind you.
That's right, David. The cold, dry air here in Minneapolis, the perfect conditions to spread the flu. Organizers are encouraging fans, get your flu shot before you come. David?
Eva Pilgrim with us tonight. Eva, thank you. Next tonight, newly released body cam video causing outrage at this hour. Cleveland police calling the city's EMS to help a man who'd been shot 16 times. But Cleveland's EMS reportedly refusing to come because they said the man ended up a few blocks over the border into the next town. Tonight, that call is under investigation, and here's ABC's Alex Perez.
Tonight, EMS officials in Cleveland under fire after this disturbing video. Police discovering a man shot 16 times. the officers call for an ambulance.
You guys got EMS coming?
The victim was in his girlfriend's Cleveland driveway when he was shot. He then managed to drive about a mile away, ending up in neighboring Euclid.
Oh, please, I'm getting lightheaded.
You're okay.
Euclid EMS was some distance away, so Cleveland police called their city's EMS dispatch, but they refused to send an ambulance because they were just outside city limits.
They won't come because it's in your city. Even though it's our victim, they won't come.
Just take it to
Just taking the
what are we waiting for?
Frustrated, the officers act.
Charlie, to notify Euclid we're coming in with a male with gunshot wounds. It's taking too long for EMS to get here.
Arriving at the hospital roughly 3 minutes later. Our station, WEWS, obtaining Cleveland EMS policy, saying if an ambulance is available, dispatch will send one if the response time is 15 minutes or less.
Why exactly dispatch refused to send an ambulance remains unclear. An investigation is now underway. The victim did survive. David?
Alex Perez with us. Alex, thanks. We're also tracking 2 storm systems tonight on the move at this hour, making for a difficult commute in some places. And the return of winter for much of the country, a clipper system with heavy snow in Michigan tonight moving across the Great Lakes in the Northeast, and a coastal storm targeting New England. So let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee. Of course, she is tracking it all for us tonight. Hey, Ginger.
Hey there, David. Winter weather advisories are in place. It is snowing now, so from Dansville, New York, all the way down to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. You can see on the southern end just a coating, but the northern up to 8 inches of snow with that clipper. The coastal part of the storm will take the tides, especially tomorrow morning, and make them rise. And then you could see 2 to 5 inches, especially eastern Massachusetts, a little bit of Rhode Island there. And behind it, I can promise you that everyone is impacted. Look at Tallahassee, the wind chill tomorrow morning, 32. It feels like freezing in Charleston, and it only gets colder, settles in Wednesday morning. Philadelphia, you'll feel like 14.
Minus 11 in Caribou.
Yes.
Poor Caribou.
Poor Caribou.
All right, Ginger, thank you. In other news this Monday night, there are growing questions after a 7-year-old boy was handcuffed at a Miami elementary school. The boy accused of hitting a teacher, taken away in cuffs. Some asking, despite that alleged behavior, did authorities go too far? ABC's Victor Akendo from Miami tonight.
Tonight, police standing by the officer in this video seen escorting a 7-year-old boy in handcuffs after he allegedly attacked one of his teachers in his Miami school. The boy's mother can be heard saying, "Nothing is going to happen, my love," as she records on her phone. Tonight, Miami-Dade Schools police saying the officer acted within the scope of her duties and in accordance with departmental protocols. But the boy's family says those handcuffs went too far.
Do you think it was over the top? Too much. Being handcuffed is something that is shocking. Imagine my little boy.
According to the police incident report, on Thursday, after the 7-year-old was told not to play with his food, he allegedly attacked the teacher by repeatedly punching her on her back, later grabbing her hair and pulling it towards him. After, the boy was cuffed and transported to a hospital for an evaluation before being released. David, his father says a similar incident happened with their son last year, and he started speaking with a physician. Tonight, he says he simply cannot understand how a 7-year-old ended up in handcuffs. David?
Victor Akendo with us tonight. Victor, thank you. We turn next here to news coming in from the Pentagon after reporting that fitness apps are compromising U.S. security. The apps track athletic activity using GPS, and do they reveal where U.S. forces are around the world? Some of the apps do share that data on publicly available maps. Are they inadvertently releasing classified or sensitive locations? Tonight, Defense Secretary Jim Mattis now ordering a review, and here's ABC's Clayton Sandell.
It's the workout app that tonight has the U.S. military exercising better privacy. The app, called Strava, connects with wearable fitness devices like these. It tracks users, including some U.S. troops, wherever they go, Afghanistan, Iraq, and more. Now, years of data published in this online map is becoming a security headache for the Pentagon.
The real problem here is that these devices have revealed U.S. personnel, special operations or intelligence personnel in countries that most people didn't know we are in.
The map went online in November, but was publicized over the weekend by 20-year-old Nathan Russer.
It shows you which buildings the military personnel prefer. It can show you how military personnel like to get from one part of the base to another, and even where they take their afternoon jogs, which is something very valuable if you are looking to target the base.
The military insists that troops were not compromised, but is now reminding fitness junkies worldwide to change their settings to private. And tonight, that app maker Strava says they are committed to working with government and military officials to try and address some of those sensitive areas. David?
Clayton, thank you. And overseas tonight, Paris finally expecting some relief from those damaging floods. The Seine peaking at 13 feet above normal. Incredible after forcing 1,500 people to evacuate parts of the city. The lower level of the Louvre Museum flooded as well. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Monday. Police shooting a driver allegedly trying to run down people on the street. The off-duty officer opening fire. That driver was killed, and the Good Samaritan trying to block the suspect's car.